Hello all. Before we begin the video, let's discuss CloudFoundation. CloudFoundation is the premier online training platform to help individuals and organizations gain knowledge and skills in the ever-growing cloud computing industry.
No, they have installed everything. It's like a post-install validation, right? It's kind of post-install validation. Okay, infrastructure team will say, we have done the installation, it's completed successfully. You need to validate from your end. So those kind of post-install activity will be done by support engineer as well, not only architect.
Maybe small companies, they might, and ask them to do, kind of validations or testing.
Yeah. Once again, it depends on the project, guys. Some project architect will decide, some project support engineer is going to validate the post-install validation. It depends on the project also. Okay. And Sailpoint is one of the advanced application which is used by financial institution, banking institution, and financial most of the time. Okay. So that's all about software and hardware requirements.
When healthcare also, they use healthcare for the user identity access management, Sailpoint.
Healthcare too, yeah. Healthcare and healthcare also they are using. I remember one of the client name. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't take. And generally, I would say Capital One Bank, Royal Bank of Canada, Unify, SuperValue. If you belongs to US, Canada, you may have this name, SuperValue, Unify, and one of the largest retirement fund holder, State Street. Have you heard this name? State Street.
No.
No.
It's a financial company.
Exactly. So State Street also using Sailpoint on a larger scale. Okay. And the State Bank of India example, I mean, it's an example, guys. We are not sure whether they are using or not, how they have integrated and all, we are not sure in the backend. So for an example, I have taken that. Okay, so we have 10 more minutes. If you have anything to discuss, we can discuss. If you have anything to clarify.
Yeah, Rakesh, you are talking about the terminologies to explain.
Yes. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, can we proceed?
Oh, sorry. Before that, we should talk about this US server, task server and all.
Yeah.
So can anyone of you tell us what is US server?
User interface. Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's right. User interface, correct?
No, guys, I don't. Maybe no.
Yeah. That's user interface server only. US server. What will be the purpose of implementing this US server?
Maybe users, users does some activity on the, from the kind of front end. That's, let's say this is application. They're using this, called user interface, right? Kind of GUI.
Correct. So it's a GUI, right? It's a front end. You can consider this screen as a front end screen. Or you may consider as a GUI, graphic user interface. The moment any end user is going to access this identity tab, application tab, or any other tab, they are going to perform some activity. So some load will be created, correct? If some 10 users are going to access this portal, then that's fine. If 1,000 users are going to use the same identity tab at the same time, or whatever UI tab they are going to click, some load will be created and the load will be taken care by UI server. UI load will be taken care by UI server. Similar way, whatever task we are going to run, some task means not only this task, okay? We may run a lot of jobs. I would say a lot of jobs in the backend. So those backend activities, because as an end user, you may submit access request, you may get the provisioning. I mean, you may get the application access. You may involve in this policy violation or policy activity. You may involve in the certification activity. So some or other thing in the backend it will run. So those background activity will create some load. So the background activity load will be taken care by task server. Yeah, go ahead.
So the other page, in the debug page, you are typing the object browser, right?
Correct.
And you are typing something, and it is going to the database, bring up the result. Is
Correct.
that the UI server, or like typing, like for example,
it's a UA
here
server activity.
So it's going to the database and getting the data. So is that it won't go to the backend, like usually like a Java application, whatever UI we have, the UI will be that I never heard any different servers. Everything will be in one server, like database one server and application one server. Everything, all the application related, done in one server. So here, like in the object browser, you are typing something. It is going to database and get the result. Is that considered typing here is the UI, and then going back to the database is at the backend server? How it differentiate?
Okay. So as you said, we have 4 to 5 server, right? Let's take an example. We have implemented all server. We are going to implement the application server, everything. But the moment you are going to, you have to declare out of 4 or 5 server, 2 server will act as a UA server, 2 server will act as a task server, something like that. We have to define. The moment we are going to define, the particular server will be responsible for UI activity. And as you are asking, the moment you're talking about the object browser, right? So this object browser is the replica of the Sailpoint own database, not any target application database. Okay.
Okay.
So the load will be, the activity will be taken care by UA server.
Okay.
So we have a document like property files where we can mention.
So whatever operation you are triggering from UI is will go into UI server, is it?
Exactly.
Okay.
So the same way, whatever task we are going to perform in the backend, like provisioning, certifications, so a lot of activities will be performed in the backend, right? So those backend activity will be taken care by task server. And when it comes to batch server, batch and task server both are same. In some projects, they may call it as task server. In some project, they will call it as a batch server, but both significantly same. Okay. Sorry guys. Load balancer. What is load balancer? Any idea?
Is to manage the load of each of the servers. So if one server gets too jammed up, it balances the server. I don't know if I think it's
something like traffic, controlling the traffic.
Oh, sorry guys. If you don't mind, can you come again? I missed that.
Yeah, controlling the traffic. If the volume is high like that, it will be.
Okay, controlling the traffic on which server? Is it UA server or task server?
Sure.
Okay. Go ahead. Sorry. Okay, guys, let's take an example. This is UA server, right? So UA link will be provided to the end user. Imagine a scenario if 1,000 users are going to access this link at the same time. They may face some, and the user experience won't be smooth. They may face some latency issue, correct? Since 1,000 users are going to access the same link, the UI load will be more, isn't it? This UA server load will be more. So what can we do? Instead of providing UA server URL, we can provide load balancer URL to all of the users. So if 1,000 users are going to access this load balancer URL at the same time, the load balancer is responsible to split the load. In our environment, let's say we have 2 UA servers. So the load will be split into 2 UA servers. The first 500 user load will be taken care by one UA server. Another remaining 500 user load will be taken care by another UA server. So the load balancer is responsible to split the load. As he said, so it will basically it will split the load. Does that make sense? So that's why in real-time project, definitely we require load balancer.
And also one server fails, you usually one is a primary, one is a secondary, and so that it won't they share the what do you call
we can
the failover
implement
situation
that
in a
feature
kind of yeah.
It's not, we have to log into the particular server and we have to decide whether the server is going to act as a task server or UA server. We have to click on the toggle button.
And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.